Hello and welcome back. I'm People Joe and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, also known as the Railroad Simulator, but not really. What's really important is when you make an assumption at the end of the video, or during a video, with a bunch of numbers, that you take those assumptions too hard and figure out if whatever you were just jaloping about is remotely true at all in any shape, way, or form, because if it's not true, you probably did something wrong. So today, I'm going to correct some assumptions. I will tell you what I found for what type of network and transportation we want to use for our chemical plants over here, and then maybe build something metro-ish, exciting, interesting, cool, nice, potentially. But build, I mean plan. Obviously, there's no building in one episode. Like, what is this? All right, different intro. You like it? Cool. You didn't like it? Let me know. So, I had some fields at the end of the last episode, and I came up with some numbers, and in the end, those numbers were complete bogus. I don't know what I was on at that point. Definitely nothing. But these are 2 tons of chemicals per day. This is 8 tons of chemicals per day. That is one factory and a little bit extra left over. Then these guys, no chemicals. Okay, the chemicals that we're already consuming, that was about 600 tons or something like that. I don't know, like close to 600 tons. It's effectively 2 tons per day. Round it, make it simple. 2 tons per day. We're now at 10 tons per day. Okay. How much plastic do we need? We need 2.6 tons of plastic here, so there's about 10 tons of plastic here, and then we need another 3.8, call it 4, times 3 is another 12 tons. So 22 tons of plastic plus the plastic that we already have, am using, 300 tons, 1 ton per day. So we have 10 there, we have 12 over there, and then we have 1 more over here. That is 23 tons of plastic, and I wrote all of that down in my little black book over here so I didn't forget. Those are the numbers. How much plastic per chemicals do we need? So we need 22 tons, 23 tons of chemicals. Let's translate that. Translate that into the normal plastics factory is this really a normal one? It doesn't... Oh, I was looking at the warehouse and I was like, that's not the right number. What happened? What did I do? Yes, I have the mods on today because we actually need them for a little while. Maximum production per day, 6.6 tons. Call it 6 tons because easier. 2 of them give us 12 tons. 4 of them give us 24 tons, but not a lot left over because we do need 23 tons. So we probably want about 5. 5 of these, and they will consume 5 times 3 tons of chemicals, which is 15 tons of chemicals. That's it, and they don't require all that many workers. But now we are at 15 tons of chemicals for plastic, 10 tons of chemicals for these guys, and no, 8 tons of chemicals for these guys, and 2 tons of chemicals per day for the already existing consumption. So we are at, what, 25 tons, approximately, of chemicals. That is not 5 plants that I had initially, that is 3 plants. And if I do 4, I have a little bit left over and I don't have to worry about over-optimizing every single plant, because when we run at 100%, I would foresee that there are other issues as well, which we don't want to deal with. So we just need 3 full chemical plants to run. We need 6 times 6, yeah, 6, 5, 5 chemical plants. That gives us about 30 tons plastic production. Plastic plants. Gosh, get yourself together, man. But that's what we need. So that's the first thing. Wrong numbers. I think I figured them out now. It is much easier to look at the consumption per day and not try to calculate up to the year, because all of the productions are given to you in days. Wonderful. Now that we have that figured out, is there a train in a funny location? Why aren't you going forward, buddy? Oh, because this is probably a chain signal. That's why you don't want to go forward. Also, the trains that I have are not really willing to... Oh, that one's still selected. The trains that I do have aren't really willing to go around here as much as I would like them to, which is quite annoying. But you know what? Things must, every once in a while, there's just problems that we're just going to leave alone. But here we are. Cool. Let's talk about a couple other things really quick before we start building, and building is going to be relatively hard. Well, hard. What does that even mean? I don't. It will be hard. It won't be easy. but it will be something. We have a lot of locomotives sitting here. I kind of would like them, at least one big chunk of them, to go down here. Looks like we have a couple passenger cars there. That's lovely. But give me at least one of these trains. One of these. Just give me one. There we go. Give me one of these trains. Why aren't you using blue one? I just feel like this is more cool. And tell them, hey, go over here, pick up as many as you can, bring them into one of the storages, and then the rest we can start exporting if we really feel like it. And at some point, I do feel like that. Exactly. Cool. What are we going to use for transportation in the chemical plant? Did you actually send that train? I don't know, but I don't want to look at it right now. We are currently full here, so we're going to fix that in just a second. I looked around, and metro-wise, there are some options, and I was also, other assumption that I set was wrong. The metros that you see here, and we are on the ruble side, right? Yeah, we're on the ruble side, are the actual lengths. So this one is 58 meters and has 525 passengers. So almost 60 meters. 3 of these together will give us a little over 1,500 passenger capacity, but also close to 160 meters in space. That's cool. If you look on this side, there was this guy, 36 meters for 450 passengers. A little shorter, so 3 of these together will be about 108 meters, and we are at 1350, which is also good. And if we add another 450, we're at 140 some meters and 1,800 passengers. So this is actually probably potentially one of our better bets so far. But there are a couple of good options, and I don't know why, but for some reason they don't show up. They're supposed to be starting in 2020 until present, but they're not doing that. So I will just show you this way. Go in here, go to the eastern side. It's the Skoda version. We had the Paris one, yep, 450 for 36 meters, but there's the Skoda, the Metro Skoda Varsovia. There are different versions. There's a 6-car version for 116 meters. There is a 4-car, a 2-car, and a 3-car version. They all, just each car is 250 people, which is great. But now we can see that in 39 meters we can fit 500 passengers, and in 36 meters we can fit 450 passengers. So this one's just a little tiny bit better, a little more compact, which is nice. But well, how long is this one? 58.78 and then 116. 58.78, that's plus 28 meters. I'm doing some stupid... Oh, the 6 cars. So we don't have a 5-car version. If I want a 5-car, I do have to build one of these and one of these and put them together. And that would get us 1250 and a reasonable length of a little over 100 meters. Good. I like these. I also like the Paris one. If you look at the numbers, we currently are not making enough dollars, and I do have to export them to get something in there. But it's either the Paris one, it's pretty good, or it's the Skoda one. I didn't see something quite the same, and does actually work this way. It's a mod obviously here, but it only carries barely 800 people, and we can do more with the vanilla ones. And I really need high capacity. So those are the answers to this part. Hope that all makes sense, etc., etc. And we can move there. There are a couple options for passenger cars, but honestly, there aren't really options. So 98, I think it's it's this one. 340 passengers. This was the biggest train car that I was able to find. I didn't go through the whole mod section. These are the ones that I had. And it's pretty long, like 27 meters for 340 people. The Metro almost doesn't double that, but you also have to account for a train, like a locomotive part, that is potentially without anything. There are a couple of these, but then you also have to fit them together in a nice color, and that's not really working. And the passenger capacity in these guys is really not that great, 130, 140, etc., etc. The Metro is your best bet for all of this, period. So that is that. What are we going to do with that? There's a train waiting too long again. Yeah, I will come talk to you in just a minute. You're still doing it the right way. That's good. I don't want you to go here. Let's talk to the line. Let's go here. Let's say nothing. And then have you go all the way out to the deployment shed. Where's that? It's right here. Cool. And then unload, load. That looks good. Get started. Should you also do the other one? No, not yet. Just do this one and we'll be fine. Cool. So they can do that. Great. Metro. Okay. Should be easy now, right? Just slap the metro underground and never look at it again. No. I want to build a metro network that is completely stupid in the size that I want, but I want a metro network that is the size that I want, and I don't want anything smaller than that, and you cannot talk me out of it. We will make a dirt road going all the way out here because this is where I'm assuming I need most of my construction to actually happen. Do we have a free construction office currently available? My answer is probably no, because I know where they're sitting. I have used a bunch of them over here that I can probably reclaim at least one of them, if not all of them. Also, oh, now they're doing that thing. That's wonderful, but I'm guessing this train is actually telling me, and you get out of here, just go. This train is probably telling me exactly what I'm currently full on. Actually, not that train, but if you click on the on this guy, it will tell you, oh, you can't put the gravel anywhere, to which I would say, just dump a little bit. Nobody will notice. So, no, you can't go home. That's fine. We'll set it up that way, that way, that way, and get these trains out of here again. And maybe now, for some miracle, they will actually figure out to use both sides of the track and stop blocking my main railroad connection everywhere, and then we can hopefully finish this sooner or later. Hopefully sooner. Yeah, this farm is done. Oh, that's the other thing. Okay, last thing, because we do have to prepare this. We have a lot of farm vehicles to construct. We have a lot of mixers sitting here. Wonderful. Let's put the mixers somewhere where they can, well, rot effectively, because we are done with the mixers for the time being. Great. And then let's purchase something new. I looked around what farm vehicles I want, and we do know that we already want the covered hulls, and I don't think I want to necessarily use different ones than the ones that we're already using. I may look for just a second. I haven't looked at that one yet. If we want to use any modded ones, because today is the episode where we use some modded vehicles, but I am not convinced that I want to do that. I looked around. This is one of the better ones. I think there's one harvester on the other side. Where is it? No, People's Post-War Harvester in 19. Yeah, there's that Combine 36. Did I click on the wrong one? Yeah, you probably clicked on the wrong one. So this is the best one on the eastern side, 36. That's the speed, and you want the highest speed for your harvesting as possible. So not that one, but if we look on this side and find a harvester, I looked around, there are not that many options, but I really like the Deutz-Fahr, and it gives us a speed of 42. The Dominators, and this vanilla one, the Dom85, already gives us a 38, so I don't feel that bad making one that can go speed of 42, but it can only go at maximum speed of 30 kilometers per hour. This one does 20, so it does a little better, but it's modern, okay? It's a more modern vehicle, but we barely have the money for that, but we have a little money for this thing to actually happen. So that's what we're going to start with a harvester, and just get, you know, 20 or so in production, 30, 50. Probably 30 is probably enough. We don't have that many farms, so that should be fine. But on top of that, we also need something that can sow. And I looked around. There are some Casimirs that are great, but I think they are too fast for what I want to do, and I don't want to go down that road. They're like speed 40, so this one's a little slower than that. But I just feel a little better not using Casimir, so this is the tractor that we're going to use. Just because, makes something a little different. And if you don't know what a Casimir is, I grew up in Eastern Germany. So, well, Eastern Germany. I was born just before the wall came down. I can't say I grew up there, but I was born before the wall came down, so that counts for something. But where are you sowing? These are the Casimirs, the big yellow ones. You've probably seen them. We call them Casimirs, I should say. They may not, that's maybe not what the K stood for. So someone maybe put it in the comments what they actually were, but these were the Casimirs. The speed is the same, but the sowing speed is level 40 here, and the other one was just level 38. So it's a little different, and these all have different speeds. This is the speedy one, 44 kilometers per hour. That's fine. I know a lot of people use this, but I wanted to use the other one, and now we are. Cool. People are coming back, and yeah, I'm going to do enough harvesters first, and then we're going to do tractors. Do you want to do something more smart than that? Yes, I do. Do this. click on the license, click on whatever you want, click on nope, that's the wrong one. Click on this one, click on the one that you actually want to build, which is the harvester. Are you just at the end? Yes. And make, oh, it does different colors. That's wonderful. So we have about 20. Although when you have 3 in there, apparently it's just like, yeah, we're not going to do any more different colors. So that's wonderful. Interesting how the randomness didn't actually work. But we need 1 harvester to 2 tractors. That is the ratio that we want. So I guess at this point in the queue, we're just going to go end up somewhere over here. And when we're done with all of that, how about you give us a couple more covered holes? No, let's just look if there's one other covered hole that you want to use for this. For just harvesting capacity. This doesn't really look like 132 tons of truck. That is actually a really nice one, but it's not really feeling like anything that should drive around on a farm. This one very similar, 14 tons of crops. Wow, that is small. The F12, 20 tons of crops. No. I do like the ones that have the little trailer, but I'm not seeing those either. 14 tons, 21 tons. There are a couple good ones in here, no doubt, but I'm not seeing the ones that I actually want for my crop transport. This one, grain trailer, 18 tons. What does that compare? I kind of like it. I'm going to right click on the favorites icon here and see if I can use that, because I'm okay with maintaining 2 different trucks, because we will use that many trucks for grain transport. Okay, so this one is 13 tons. This is the vanilla one. Yeah, I feel compelled to use the other one that we just had. Does total capacity actually work here? There's a silo one, 50 tons. Not really grain train. 48 tons. Oh my goodness, no, that's cheating. 38 tons. No, another road train. Too big. And they don't have the loading piece that I want. We have this one, 20 tons. That has the 2 trailers. It's actually nice. I'm tempted for that, but no, I think I'm okay with the grain trailer that we just saw. This one would be cool, but you're just too slow. Yeah, no, I think I made up my mind. This one is one that I like to use. You only do 14 tons. You don't go as fast as the other guy. Maybe I should just stay with the... Let's see here. Go back to this one. This is the last time I'll look at this, and then we'll start building our dang metro line, because it is not going to be simple. So let's look at you. You do 85 miles per hour, 18 tons of crops. We're just going to buy this because I'm tired of looking back and forth. I just want to compare these two. 95 to 85. This one has a slightly higher capacity than this one, just 5 tons. I think they even out. They are vanilla-ish. So that's not going to break any of the ratios or anything else. So this should be fine. I know that I have gravel currently on all the roads, and that will be asphalted at some point. But when you're done with these vehicles, which you only have 36 more harvesters to do, and then all the tractors, you can get started on the grain trailers and just go until you're done. Wonderful. That all works out, I guess. Maybe, potentially. Let's look at our travel problem place over here, you guys. Yeah, you're blocking stuff again. Why are you not going to where I need you to go? Also, you are yellow. What the heck is your problem? Get in here. There's absolutely no reason for you to park here like a wildling. Also, that piece of track I think is connected here, but it's not really agreeing that there's a connection there. So that's lovely. But yeah, I don't understand why the trains are deciding that they cannot get into this section. That is stupid and super annoying. And I wish they would just do the thing that I want them to do, which they sometimes do, but not all of the time. So here we are having problems left and right. That I would like to say is not quite my problem. Yeah, you can go wherever you want to go. You probably won't fit there all the way. And you should just go up here. Because there's a green, there's a red, but they're just not willing to. I know that these connections are all there. But whatever. I'll just keep babysitting this while you're watching or not watching, and at some point we will be done here. Yes, I could try to make signals work further down the line. That's That will always cause issues, because even if we put 2 signals here, at some point we have all of these tracks, which is, well, 1, 2, 3 effectively there, 4 down here is not assigned yet, etc., etc. Like, there's more tracks that we have to worry about, and I don't want to do that right now. Cool. Herline, you are effectively back in business, and we should have 400 people already trying to move in, so let's let them move in and take just a few more out of the big towers, so that town hopefully gets back up and running. We're just going to do one, start with 1,000 people. That should be sufficient. Okay, now that we're done with all of this nonsense, we can actually take a gander. Sure, we can take a gander at the metro and the problems that I wanted to talk about. So, if we have a metro train that we like the capacity of, now all we have to do is find a metro station that justifies that capacity, or at least the length of whatever we're building. I did not like looking at this because I don't know which ones of these are metro. In the vanilla version, they clearly are stating what they are. In the mod one, they aren't. However, you can go down here and just say METRO. And it will tell you these are all metro buildings. So I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. Let's look at what we have. 45 meters, too short. 110 meters, 800 passengers, 4 track. This is nice. Do you see a problem with this? Because I do, besides the road connections being a little funny. This one is an underground station. It's not very helpful. There will be a couple situations where I'm totally okay with underground. But they will have to be in the city, not out here. I would like to see most of the metros that we run around most of the time, and if I have to elevate them, I totally will, especially since they don't require signals. Did you know that? Metros are designed to not need signals. The only time you need signals if you want to bring any other trains into that network, but if it's a closed loop, which you can make after you build it, if you never have to expand it again, so the rare construction cranes are the only ones you have to worry about, don't need signals, which is pretty cool. But here's a station with 4 tracks, and please note that there are one-way. They're directional tracks on the platform, and you cannot really like flip or switch them. I'm flipping this so the road goes to the other side, but trains cannot go through there the wrong way. Just please be aware of that. Hopefully that makes sense. There are a couple bigger ones. So here's a 6-track one, also underground. They're all lovely, and I think I may use them, but yeah, again, I want above ground, and the size is still just 800 workers. This one's 110 meters, this one is only 70 meters, and then this one is a really cool one. It has like multi-directional tracks, which makes sense in a high-capacity station, but it's not quite what I'm looking for, so no, not yet. What's this one? 61 meters? No. 25 meters? No. 60? No. 105 meters and 1,000 workers, elevated metro and bus station. I like this one a lot. Do we need it? I don't know. Is this pass-through? I don't know either, but this is not a bad one to actually collect people later on, especially with the length that we're getting out of there. Here we got a couple more 90 meters, metro rail support. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Then a couple more. This one, oh, this one is a big one. I haven't had this one before, but it's underground again. I don't want underground stations. They are not... they're just not pretty enough for what I want to do here. So all of this is really simple if you just go underground, but no. Entrance large class. So those are the metros that we have available. On top of the couple metros that we have, which there is a ground level station large, 80 meters long. It's just not going to cut it. Do we all agree on that? Cool. Because I would like to run the metros with, well, a metro, and I would like the metro to actually fit into the station. Otherwise, that's lame. So we got all of that talked about. Wonderful. Do you know what the other problem with metro is? You cannot level cross them. There's no way. What do I mean by that? Build a metro track on ground level, like that. Cool. Pretend that we plant that, and then try to bring a road over that. There, you cannot cross it with we cannot cross it with road. You cannot cross it with rail. You cannot splice off it with normal rail, but you can splice off it with metro rail. Ta-da! So electric rail cannot do anything here, so you have to make sure that when you do have any eventual crossings, that you plan for that with either going underground or above ground in multiple places so you don't run into issues with that down the road. That's important. We could mitigate that problem by just using normal trains instead of metros. We do have stations that are certainly long enough for longer trains, like this one could totally work, and I am tempted to throw this in here. This is 200 meters long. We can put a lot of people in 200 meters. But it's not as fun. I think the metros will look more fun, and one of the things that I did talk about already is the closed loop of whatever passenger system we want to run here, because although we don't need 5 full chemical plants running, we do need 3 running on average, so I'm putting 4 here. That's 2,800 people, which in the largest metro, that is 2 metros running all the time. Which is not nothing. It's not the end of the world kind of numbers, but it is a high capacity system. Okay, let's assume that we're going to build a station that's close to the 116 meters of the 1,500 people passenger train. What am I getting here? I'm exporting something. Oh, we're always exporting like 100,000 of something. That's cute. Which reminds me, I do need the money so we can start building the metros relatively soon. I think I'm going to hijack one of these guys to become a NATO export instead of a Eastern export, and then we should be okay. So that one, just remove you, and then we should just have this harbor, that repair, Western borders, unload of everything, and we are good to go. Cool. The other ones stay exactly like what they were doing before. Great. You never got the... You didn't send the excavators out here like you wanted to because you distracted yourself with just about everything. Good job, obviously. What do we have here? 4 excavators that are actually doing work. Can't really argue with that. There's a fuel station right here doing something as well. Can't argue with that either. And another 4 excavators sitting here not doing jack. Okay. Where can we put you? Do you want to go out to this construction office? First stop unreachable. Don't freak out on me, please. Gee, it was just a suggestion. Construction office 5. Do you want to help with this? That'd be cool. I think number 7 is also in the area. If you just want to bring in whatever you can bring in, that would be great. So we can have some people go to the construction offices like normal people and they don't yell at me right away. But this should be fine. So now what we can do is just get a quick free depot. Does this hold less people than what you want? I don't know, but we'll just put this one here. We have more than enough available, and get these excavators back because they're not going to do anything else for a while. There you go. You can definitely drive there, and then eventually we're going to put you into the correct construction office, and life should be good. Actually, do you just want to use these excavators? Yeah, part of me kind of just wants to do that, but we don't have to do that just yet. Okay, train is waiting too long. Fire extinguished, that's all great. Is the train waiting too long? Yeah, it's parked there again. Get out of this whole area. There's no reason for you to... It's not going to change. The more I complain, it's not going to change. What we can do is give myself the extra room that I'm asking for just by adding or making these signals a little better. Yes, you can go there. You can be removed. You can be just the length of a construction crane. Let the construction crane come in, and then we should be able to just not block our main route anymore. There's no other one sitting right there. I don't know that we actually fit another one in here, but we really just needed one extra. And hey, look at that guy. He actually went to the right place. Woohoo. Good job. Proud of you. Good. Now what? The heating plant running. Yep, we got some people here, so we have some heat for the winter. Someone has heating problems. The fire station. Nobody cares about you. And how many messages do we have that we didn't read? 220-ish. Oops. Deleted them all. Okay. Do we have fire... We do have fire trucks here. Cool. Okay, so, Metro. Talked about the problems. Cool. How about some answers? Yeah. Build your construction office here. Build your fuel station here, and then we can talk about answers. You go there. You need some fuel. They're not going to get here in this episode. It's going to take like 15-20 minutes before they even arrive. It almost doesn't matter where I bring them from. So don't get your hopes up on this one. But we are close to, you know, this spot now. They just have to go around the whole map to do anything useful, but that's fine. There's an excavator. Do you want anything else? No, not really. So let's send them out about here. Close, but no cigar. There we go. Sent them down here. Come on, I was just doing a click. Clickety click click. And then the mouse went to the middle of the screen for no reason. That's just wonderful. But there are my excavators coming in, doing the thing that they're supposed to do. Let's talk to our extra fuel station. You only have 11 spots that you're currently using. That's great. Come all the way out here. Get us some fuel so these excavators can do something. Traffic jam, that is scary, especially with a bus. What are we doing? What are you doing? I am trying to do some metro work, but you guys are not really letting me do that. How about you don't wait until loaded and just get out of here? Yeah, take that. The happiness problem makes some sense now. Oh, and then this crane is sitting here doing something? What are you? Why are you? Where are you? You're almost full. Would you consider just doing that and then just leaving me alone? It is so weird when every once in a while things go wrong like that. I do understand that I made that problem. I created the setup, whatever setup that was, but I would have much preferred if, you know, that would have just taken care of itself. That would have been great. But it didn't. So here we are. Okay. Chemicals here. I know that this is what I want. I know that we need about 1,500 meters space from effectively the edge of where the chemical plant is to here. So if we want to build a city, it cannot be much closer than this. And kind of like this. And probably somewhere over here. Put a line there just in the sand. And then we know that that is city territory. And I think this would be a really nice elongated city if we want to build one. We could put one here. We do only need 2,800 people now. Call it 3,000 times 3 shifts. We're now at 9,000 plus add another 3,000 on top of that for the 4th shift. That is the utilities. 12,000. We are the large city. We are at multiple shopping centers. So we are probably thinking at 12,000. And to give them good use, I think we will also add the plastic industries in the area. And we have a couple options here. Let's look at what the ratios are. It's effectively 2.2 is chemicals to plastic. Can we find one that requires more people where it does the same thing? No, this one takes a lot more chemicals, actually. Interesting. And spits out a lot less plastic because it's not 44 point something tons. This one's a smaller one. That doesn't really interest me. Here's one that is 2.2. So this is the right-sized plastics factory. What size are you? You're tiny. Why are you so tiny? I don't know if I approve of that, because look at this plastics factory. No, it's about double the size. And you get about twice as much stuff out of it. So are you just gonna let that happen? You also have the wrong ratio. You have the wrong ratio. You have no ratio. What are you doing? Horse feed converter. That's cool. Duraplast factory. Crops and chemicals instead of oil. Interesting. Where do you have oil? That's a great question. I love that question. I have a tiny bit in this spot. You're not going to use that, are you? I don't think it's enough production to actually make something work, so I may just have a harbor sitting here that gets a little bit of raw oil from somewhere. Maybe just import it, maybe get it from somewhere else. Probably just import it first so we don't add another train to the network that we don't necessarily need. And then find a place where you can actually get it from and just use a ship to bring it in here. I think that would be cool because we do have the waterfront situation over here. Cool. So, plastics industry. Did you decide on a thing? I kind of like this one. It is 10 to 22. It uses 90 tons of oil, which I think the ratios are all the same. So I feel pretty confident that this is fine. It gives us 200 workers versus 60. You effectively 3.3 the number, which is also 200 workers. So yeah, this one is literally just the same factory, just bigger. And now we need technically just 2 of these, if we want to be that bold. And we could argue that, why don't you just put the plastic industries over here to add a little bit of logistics to the problem. And I do want the metros to come out and do, well, do a loop here. That's really kind of what I'm looking for. So let's set this up really quick or really slow, depending on how bad you want to get this wrong, and see what we can do. We're just going to mirror them like so. They're lined up enough. What do we have in the middle? We have a couple pipes, but we can get the pipes in the front too. And then a couple warehouses. Okay, the only thing that this one really needs is chemicals that we will bring in from that side. And then we take the plastics down to the south side. Okay, whatever you do, if you want to do metros, you have to plan for metro traffic, road traffic, and train traffic to actually move the things around, unless you think you can move all the plastic via truck. And I think that's a stupid idea because we're not that close. Okay, well, continue your dreaming and get this road into this area, at least a little bit. There's a mountain here, and I wouldn't mind not mangling that mountain too much. So let's try to skirt around it. Skirt. There we go. That's the spirit. You're doing it. And then we can totally add a farm out here to get a little bit of extra crops in the area. I'm not sure that it's necessary. But to be fair, I am not by any means convinced that the traffic routing that we have going on here, especially for trains, is going to be able to keep up with what we have going on here. I think something that could help is a bypass. Just make a loop-de-loop there. Make it run on the inside of this, through the mountain here, underneath the... No, don't go for the mountain again. I think there's a F2. Yep. There's an opportunity to go somewhere through the valley, maybe on this side, and just get trains outside of outside of this death loop for the time being. But if we look at the death loop over here, it's actually not overflowing, but they are having trouble getting out, which is not ideal, but they at least don't have trouble getting in. So, yeehaw. Yeah, we need another waiting area here, if I could, but the only way to do that is probably go through here, and nah, there's too much stuff going on. But a bypass would not be a terrible idea if I need to add more trains in that area. So keep that in mind. F2 again, here's the valley that you can go to and figure out, and then obviously this is not everything that we needed. You did send excavators out there. Good. I couldn't remember if I actually clicked the button to send the excavators to the construction office, but I know I did. I also know I did it from the factory and not from the initial spot, just in case you're wondering. Okay, here is this guy. Sure. We're just going to... Again, I don't want to mangle the mountain that much. I always mangle the mountain. Let's try to not mangle the mountain too much, even though this rail... You would be the in of this operation. What can you do here if I do this? Do you do a little more terraforming than if I don't do this? Yeah, that's fine. So you're the in operation, you go in on the right, you go in on the right here, and then you can figure out whatever connections you need on this side, and that's fine. You go all the way around here, make the loop-de-loop, and then you leave again. Okay? There's a mountain right here that we... that's a very tall mountain just in front of you. Let's see. Can I get you out this way? Not easily, it says, but I think I can. Let's make that turn a little more elegant. And I am laying this because at least for this rail track, I already know kind of what I'm going for. I understand what path I want to take and how I want to get there. I just don't know yet. The excavators are here. That's amazing. I just don't quite know yet everything that's going to go on here. So just give me a couple minutes, and we will get this part in. Okay. We do know something. We do know that these guys will produce plastic, and these guys will produce chemicals. So there needs to be a direct route into here that brings the chemicals in. Do you want to do that by truck or by train? I don't think truck is going to be enough to run this. truck maybe is enough to collect all the things, but even that I am not convinced by. Which also makes me think maybe you will do yourself a favor if you give an easy like return loop for if you do have a train running around here that is responsible for taking let's see. Really? Why are you fighting me? Because there's a little note there? Just make the note go away. If I need a train to collect all... Oh, no, I'm not using Metro Track. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm using my shortcuts, not the keys on the thing. So if I do this, I don't need a double turn. There you go. If I do this, now I have a chance to easily have a train just go here, 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 collect all the chemicals that we have and bring them to a central location. Where should that location be? Oh, that is a good question, because now you have this single loop for really just one train that can do something there. If you want to do that way, then you will have to confuse yourself. You have to confuse yourself because now you have a train potentially going on the opposite side of what you normally have trains go do, like this, because now a train can just come in here and pick up chemicals from a central location. The central location will be somewhere over here. So now, oh... not a problem at all, because it can just reverse the cargo station that I put here. I like that. I like that at least a little bit. If you don't like it, that's okay. But I'm kind of fond of the idea that's starting to brew in my head here a little bit. So you would go there. That's fine. Then we need a cargo platform, and I think. So what are we? I have to decide how I want to deliver stuff to these chemical plants. Not too fast. You thought you had a good idea, but do you remember what I said in the beginning of the episode? If you have an assumption, make sure that the assumption is not completely stupid. So, I need 9 tons of crops a day, and I can store many crops. Can I get 2 trucks delivering crops every single day? Okay, that's the wrong question. Can I get a single truck to... Oh, actually, I do have some 18-ton trucks that we are already looking at. That can be the grain delivery system as well. So a truck delivers has to deliver every 2 days because we do have some storage there. I still think that's a little long, but now we are talking something like 3 trucks can probably supply enough crops for each of these. That's good. Oil, I will probably do pumping. Wood, I will probably also use a truck, but that is the same amount that I have to talk. So now we're talking 6 trucks from a central location. Unless I do all the wood cutting behavior on the interior or close by interior of the area. And I don't hate it if we do all the wood cutting here. There are factory connections on the outside of this thing that we can just feed into, besides this one probably. We can also cross the railroads that we already have here. But yeah, if we put, well, you do have to supply it with a couple workers, but I think we can get those workers out. We just have to make, okay. Stop talking. No, don't stop talking, but stop babbling. I think what we need is 1 woodcutter per factory, or probably 1 woodcutter here is fine. And then 1 woodcutter out here is fine. And it's more about the delivery range than the capacity of how much it can produce, because I don't think it will actually tell me how much wood a woodchuck can chuck. Maximum production per worker is 6.3 tons per workday. So technically 60 tons is supposed to be possible. That is more than enough than what we need, but then we also need trucks bringing that stuff in, which may be fine. Maybe 1 woodcutting post in the center is the best option, because then we can also man that woodcutting post with people, and then we just have 4 trucks from a cargo station deliver directly to any of these stations. And if we don't produce enough wood, and wood is not one of the industries that I do very often. If we don't deliver enough wood, we just add more woodcutters, and that will take care of the problem too. So yeah, we just have an interior wood production, and that should take care of all the things. We already have researched the replenishment for that to happen. So that should be okay. With that in mind, I'm still just planning here. Wow. We have wood taken care of. That's just 1 truck per thing. So now we're at 4 trucks if we transport crops and wood. Gravel. Is that another truck? We're getting to a situation where each of these needs their own delivery service, and ideally one-way roads for the cargo stations, but I know that we don't have that yet. But we will have 3 cargo types that want to go through here, but they're not necessarily predictable that way. But we have 6 there. We have 6 stops here. Yes, we do have 6 stops here. But it's not a one-way. It would be nice if this was a through station. I think that would make our life a little easier. And then there are no cargo connections on any of these sides. Okay, let's look at how many parking spots the chemical factory actually has. This is getting complicated. I like it. You have 4 loading and unloading spots, and we are planning to bring in at least 5 trucks. No. Okay, do you have cargo connection? Do you have gravel connections that I can use? Let's see. You do in really funky locations. Don't love those locations at all. This is why you have to plan. This one, yes, we can probably get there. This one we can also get there. It's just really far away from where we are. And you do have to account for loading and unloading of things. Okay. Okay. Now I'm considering a longer train that can deliver... Now I'm considering 2 trains, really. One has to pick up all the chemicals, and one has to drop off pretty much everything. Which is not the end of the world. It's really easy to set up the train to do those things. But I probably have to right-size the train to be able... And I'm leaning back right now because I'm like, whew! This is a bit of a pretty big chunk of something. Let's see if I can actually make this work. So, if we have a train, the train has to gradually fill up all of the factories with something. Can we reasonably transport 120 tons of crops, 300 tons of oil, etc., etc.? I think for that, we should go down to our factories and see what they have to say about that situation. What are we currently getting in cargo wagons? We have a dry bulk? Nope. We have a hopper? Yes. Gravel, 72 tons. Excellent. 2 of these will do everything we need for probably for a lot of the factories, right? Let's see here. You can consume 8.4 tons. One of these hoppers is effectively 10 days of capacity. So if we do 2, 3, honestly, probably 4. Let's do 4. So each of these effectively like fills up one of the things. And here's a 92 tonner. We can use this one even more. If we do 3 of these, we get 300 tons of gravel, and we only need 150. So 3 of those would always fill up 2 chemical plants 100%, and then just a little extra. That feels good. So we can do 3 of those hopper cars for that main train that we want to do something with. I like it. What else? We want to pick up chemicals. 26 tons of chemicals picked up here. How much would we produce? We probably want to be able to empty a full warehouse of them. That's 45 tons. So this boxcar may not be good enough yet. Do we have a bigger cargo wagon boxcar available for the task at hand? That's a lot of tankers. What is this? A vehicle? No, that's crops. That's a lot of crops. Don't hate it. No. It says larger capacity boxcar, but that feels dirty. Hopper, no. Yes, original single bitumen, no. These are all smaller. Nothing too exciting here. Okay, that's fine. I do think on the western side, torpedo wagon, what is that? I do think on the western side, we do have a couple nicer looking wagons that may be more specialized that we can use here. Let's just go through the rest of them. No, just a couple of hoppers and these things. No, I think we're good there. Let's look at this side. Yeah, there's another boxcar, 44 tons that we can use. Not this. Open hopper, 70 tons. We have the 90-ton hopper already, so we don't need that. Here's a good one for crops. 81 tons of crops give us what? Also 3 days or so. No, it's the wrong one. That's the right one. 82 tons of crops will give us effectively 1 chemical plant, so we need another 3. 3 will fill up 2 at a time, which is probably good enough. 81 tons of crops, so yeah, we can use this one for sure. What else? We do have the container cars. They're nice, but I don't think we really need them. Here's 92 tons. Yeah, we're getting into the nice ones where we can actually store a little more. So yeah, 3 of these will definitely be enough. 2 of these will probably be sufficient for the crop side of things. Okay, more hoppers, more open tops, sleeper car, or passengers in the cargo wagon category. Who messed this up? We also have this one. Yeah, I don't think we need that because the 90-ton hopper should be sufficient for our needs. There's another coach for more passengers. Cool. So yeah, a train may make the most sense to get things in and out of that situation that we have there. It's not perfect, but I think it can be used and can be done. You guys are not being able to turn here. Oh, that's too bad. The city still looks nice. Look at the city. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Everyone's happy. We lost a lot of people. Where did they go? Who did we lose? Is that city up here broken again? What? Lauren, how are you doing? Nobody lives here, okay? This is full, so we didn't lose people here. No food, no meats, no electronics, no something. This is not the place of problem, but we did lose over 3,000 people, and I have a guess it may be related to Coal Town. This is usually the one where you lose a lot of people. No, this one is okay. I feel like this one is usually full. Yep, that one is filled up. Not a problem. How about here? This one. Okay. Magically lost a lot of people. Why did you lose a lot of people? Was coal out? Did you run out of coal? Just in general? What happened here? Magically, I cannot lose you because we... Oh, did you fill up too many... I really don't know what happened. I don't know what could have happened. But we can't lose people magically, so let's get a couple trucks in here quick and see if we can diagnose what we're doing there. Yeah, there's the trucks. Talk to the skyscrapers here. You don't need all of them full, but if you can just move them over here, I think life is a little better. I'm not unpausing until I'm ready to go here. I'm assuming there was a traffic jam in the area that caused us, the usual trouble. But I can't say that for sure. But yeah, let's just replenish these guys, and 12,000 people should be enough to at least get this thing turned on again. And then we just have to see whatever we see. Let's just fill these up with the last people that we have. That should be good. So they're parked here. That's cool. You do have coal here. That is cool. Yeah, there must have just been a traffic jam from the construction that we're doing. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. But magically cannot break down because we have a lot of... well, technically, we're trying to do a lot of reconstruction here, repair. Practically, that's not really happening yet. But if you can be bothered to bring stuff out here, here, and here, make this one mostly steel, just steel, actually. And make this one the other things that we need, limit the amount. You need plastic... electronics, mechanical components, not explosives, electrical components, and some fabric. You're clicking the wrong buttons there, buddy. Okay. That was super useful. Try again. You need fabric, you need electrical components, mechanical components, plastics, and electronics. Cool. Just store that, and we can actually remove the construction office from here. Also only store steel, not both. Don't use that that distribution office here. Use it on this side, but then I wouldn't be surprised if you took them as a source and not as a destination. Yep, you took them as a source. Fill them up. 30% doesn't feel right. Make it 60%, and we'll see how it goes. It's possible that it's these buses that are sitting here that shouldn't be part of this group. Your wear and tear is not high enough, but if all the buses are parked here instead of bringing people out to the heating plant, that would kill this city. That would make sense. Let's see what's sitting here. I know I just sent them out, but I can't have them all parked there at the same time. You are average productivity. That's good. Wear and tear is 40%. Yeah, that one will be fine. But I wanted the other ones back too. Cool. So, what did we accomplish today? You talked at your viewers a lot, and if you listened, I appreciate that. I don't think I have an answer yet how I want to do the logistics on this whole thing. It feels like a logistics hub of sorts. Makes sense, but there's this mountain kind of in the way. There's also a lot of plastic going on over here that we have to bring chemicals out. And there is that problem with too much. Even if I have a really long train, that train needs to repair at some point, which could cause a lot of trouble. Could cause a ton of trouble. So we need to have a repair station somewhere out here. We could handle everything with a distribution office, but the distribution office can definitely not bring a train out that's long enough. So now we have, if we use a distribution office, we have to use a lot more trains than anything else. I don't think cargo trains can use the end stations anymore. Otherwise, I could put a repair station on an end station somewhere, and that train will just go around in circles all the time, but always do the same thing. That would be cool. Do you want to check that assumption really quick? I kind of do, because that could be important. Let's look for any cargo train that goes through here. That's a passenger train, that's a passenger train, that's a cargo train right here. And if we click on this button, it's actually getting rid of all the iron. I think that means something is working. And we go down here and say, hey, I have this end station I want you to go to. What would you say? It will be able to go through an end station, which means I can do repairs in the end station. That is a good thing. That's a very good thing, because that means I can actually use the long train to do all the things that I want to do. We have this big flat area here, and we have a big flat area here. It's very tempting to do something up there, but I still have to figure out how we're going to use the train that we have running here, and then use the trains that do all of the supplying of these chemical industries, which will be a lot. We need a lot of everything. And sure, I could get my gravel from out here. There's a good gravel source right there, and the pollution is not that bad. We could get our wood from here. We couldn't get our grain from here, but we would get our oil from somewhere. And I thought I was saying, no, the oil. Does the chemical plant need oil? I think it needs oil. I'm pretty sure it needs oil. Okay, let's triple check that. Yep, needs oil. Okay, then water. I think everyone will just get their own kind of like pipeline connection, and that should be fine. But yeah, there's a lot of material I have to bring in here. And then that material has to be stored in a way that can actually get to the places over here relatively easy. I think the only problem is this road connection that you have sitting here is stupid, because it blocks you from everything that you want to do. So let's try something real quick. I know it's very white, but let's put that here. Get myself a large cargo train station, like this one, the largest one we have. Which side do you want the road on primarily? I would think at this point you're better off if the road goes to the other side. Okay, if you have this storage doing what you think you want it to do, I don't think it really matters too much, because you're really going to have the storages on one side, not the other. You cannot do gravel with this guy. Okay. You cannot do oil, you cannot do gravel, but you can do crops, and you can do you can't do wood. So all you're gonna get out of this is crops. That's another good point. I know that there are some modded cargo stations that have multiple connections, which would be super helpful in this case. I don't know if I still have those, or if they got removed through an update or something else. But yeah, back in the day, there were definitely cargo stations here that were able to handle a lot more than just one type of cargo, which, yeah, could be cheating a little bit. But I'm fishing a little bit here, I know that, but if we assume that we will need to use multiple cargo stations, would that change anything? It's really just gravel and crops that you have to transport this way, and then you have to drop off your chemicals somewhere that can be used. The chemical train can be a separate one, and then the crops and the gravel can go one way. Sadly, crops are not an aggregate storage type. I think they could be at some point because they kind of, well, you can't use conveyor belts with them, which is a little sad. But if we do that, really all we need to do is have 2 connections close to each other. Okay. And then those 2 trains just kind of follow each other. There's a chemical train that always picks up and drops off in a central location, and then there is the drop-off train that brings all the stuff in. And we could probably argue that the chemical train or the crop train could be the same thing, because we could have enough capacity in our boxcars to pick up all the chemicals from all the stations in places. So I'm almost thinking having 4 wagons per resource is enough to move all of this stuff around, and then we can take care of bringing in crops, yes. Bringing in gravel, yes. Wood will be by truck, yes. And we'll take out chemicals. All of that makes sense. We do need to take care of the hazardous waste, but I think I'm just going to have an incinerator sitting out here and doing that, and we can take the mixed waste that results from the incinerator to our normal separation, and we'll be fine. Which means you also have to worry about having a waste setup somewhere in the area. Yes. I am going slow here, and I know I am. This is the 2nd episode, and we really haven't built anything else to it. But I'm trying to not make too many mistakes on this one, because this is a large setup that if you do it wrong, it's just going to hurt you a lot. Speaking of doing it wrong, we're still losing people. Did I not put enough people over here? So my plan, yeah, we lost them again. Stop it. Where? Look at this. Is there, okay, we're not going to move people again in the winter. Winter is almost over, but all the buses that are trying to go here may be in repair somewhere, and they can't do anything. So we have to allow repair cancel when long idle. But yeah, this was one of the problems that I think we saw. Yeah, there's only 1 bus. It's just a dumper. All the other buses are just like, I'm out of here. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to see. No, helicopter, go away for right now. Set, go away. Yeah, this is not great. I need to bring some more workers in here. Magic Kelly, is there anything else that we do with you? You're not really power related anymore besides down here, and I think we have a lot of other people coming in to help with power there. But that's all good. Okay, I think I have a notion of what I want to do. I do like the idea of having a train drive around here, doing the thing that I needed to do. But I am now playing with the thought of making a direct cargo station connection here. And I do need to test if I can still unload crops via a factory connection from a cargo station like this or not. Because if the answer is no, I have to unload, well, you will just have to unload the gravel inside the building and everything else somewhere else. But it's supposed to be the same train, so I don't think that that's really necessary. And we just have to make it work. And we can also just have the chemicals get picked up on the outside if you want to use 2 trains for this or not. But this needs some logistics, and I don't feel like I'm done with that yet. Sorry about that. But we will continue this next episode, and hopefully we get to a place where something is created in a right way. Potentially. This is the joy of you being able to follow my brain farts, and also sometimes brain ideas that are not completely stupid. But we are where we are, and we will just continue this. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.